Aguero!
And Coutinho scores.
Sanchez scores!
Chelsea are champions.
Welcome to the Sports Report edition of the 5 Live Football Daily. I'm Mark Chapman. Plenty to discuss on a busy day of Premier League, Football League and FA Cup action. Later we'll hear from Claudio Ranieri as Leicester go top of the Premier League. Louis van Gaal reacts to another blank at Old Trafford for Manchester United. And there's a crazy last 10 minutes in that FA Cup game between Northampton Town and Northwich Victoria. First though, here are Saturday's football headlines. The headlines this Saturday tea time. Jamie Vardy fails to score, but there's no stopping Leicester City.
Kante is still going and finds Vardy. Vardy slips it wide, and that should be the hat-trick for Mahrez. It is 3-0 for Leicester. Mahrez has 3, and they're going top of the table.
Arsenal go second as they beat Sunderland 3-1. Elsewhere, Stoke take Manchester City apart in the early game.
And Arnautovic is in to make it 2-0. 2-0 Stoke City against the leaders, and it's Shaqiri and Arnautovic, the double act strike again, and Manchester City in big trouble here in the wind of the Britannia Stadium.
There are boos here at Old Trafford as Manchester United drop points in a goalless draw against West Ham. Elsewhere, Villa get a point at Southampton. Tottenham are held 1-1 by West Brom. Odion Igalo scores again as Watford beat Norwich 2-0. Thibaut Courtois returns for Chelsea this evening against Bournemouth in the tea-time kick-off. In the Championship, Brighton scored 2 late goals to beat Charlton and maintain their unbeaten start to the season. Leeds beat Hull in the Yorkshire Derby, but there are protests at Ellen Road. In the FA Cup second round, League 2 Northampton score 3 times in the last 7 minutes to knock out the lowest ranked team in the competition, Northwich Victoria. Aberdeen close the gap at the top of the Scottish Premiership as bad weather decimates much of the fixture list north of the border. Let's start our reports on Sports Report at the Liberty Stadium because the Barclays Premier League this evening has new leaders, and they are Ian Brown.
They are indeed Leicester City after beating Swansea 3-0 here, and it was a swaggering display at times by Leicester in the Welsh rain at the Liberty. The Jamie Vardy run of goals is over, but just think about this bigger picture. Leicester top, and it's nearly Christmas. Vardy spurned 2 very good chances during this game, but Riyad Mahrez was the star turn, no doubt about that. He was plucked from relative obscurity in France. He was playing second division football there, but he's now up to 11 goals for the season thanks to a hat-trick in this game. The first after 5 minutes, a header from a corner. He's a slight figure, not very tall, but he crept in amongst the tall Swansea defenders to head in from close range. A very soft concession by the home team, and they never really recovered. It was 2-0 on 22 minutes, a cross shot from Mahrez beyond goalkeeper Fabianski, and then Vardy was involved in assisting in the third goal for Mahrez, his match ball goal. It was a great run by Kante onto Vardy, square to Mahrez, and it was whipped into the back of the net. Swansea hit the woodwork on a couple of occasions, but it's just 1 win in 11 for them. They look to be a team devoid of belief. It wasn't a very good performance, to say the least, and there were certainly plenty of disapproving noises from the stands at the end. Heads were down, and it'll be interesting to see what Gary Monk says about this. Next up for them, it is away to Manchester City, and Claudio Ranieri's next match with Leicester City is at home to Chelsea, his old club.
Thank you very much, Ian. Chelsea taking on Bournemouth this evening, and we'll have plenty of updates during Sports Report and during 606 with Darren and Robbie. Lines are open now, 0500 909 693. I would expect they will hear from both Stoke and Manchester City fans because in the early kick-off in the Premier League, it turned into men against boys.
The scene here is windswept. We have a blanket of grey clouds above the Britannia Stadium.
This whole stadium standing up now.
That little move there was spellbinding.
I'm not exaggerating, that was Barcelona-like, wasn't it?
Shaqiri down the right-hand side, crosses, and it's turned in by Arnautovic.
This is a joy to watch, an absolute joy to watch Stoke.
More glorious play from Shaqiri.
This is a very different Stoke.
And Arnautovic is in to make it 2-0.
They are absolutely brilliant at the moment.
But for Manchester City, oh dear.
And I'll tell you what, I'd go and watch this team every week if they played like this.
And what a half from Stoke City. That was memorable.
Well, it finished Stoke 2, Manchester City 0, but that really didn't tell half the story. Stoke were dominant. They could have had 4 or 5. Mark Hughes was the mastermind behind it, and afterwards spoke to Gary Flintoff.
It's a team game, but you will understand the media, I suppose myself included, will be talking about Bojan, Arnautovic and Shaqiri, because the three were absolutely on a different planet today.
Yeah, they were great. I haven't put them all, 3 of them, up the top of the pitch. That's the first time this year, but it's something I've been thinking about for any number of weeks, to be perfectly honest. I probably haven't been brave enough myself to actually go with it, but I felt today was the right game for us. Watched City just recently, and I just felt we had tools and weapons that could hurt them today, and thankfully that was borne out.
I know you have high aspirations. You've spoken about them in the past. You want to be the best you can possibly be. You're in the semi-final. You played some great football today. Keeping the key players fit, obviously, is key. But what can you achieve?
Well, who knows? I think at times we're surprised when we play well. I don't think this group should be surprised anymore. They're accomplished. They train correctly every single day. They give everything for the shirt every time we play, and that's why they're getting positive results at the moment. So we've got to keep it going. We've gone back into the top 10. That's what we feel we are at least. A very good top 10 Premier League side. Can we go any higher? We'll try to. But today we'll enjoy today and the level of the performance, and then look ahead to next week.
And they are 10th in the league, are Stoke City, after that win. Manchester City drop from 1st to 3rd. I'll give you the full Premier League table very shortly here on 5 Live Sport. Let's go to Vicarage Road next, shall we? Because Watford have beaten Norwich by 2-0. Delighted to say Odion Igalo is waiting to talk to us. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Congratulations, another win. I said Stoke were 10th, you're now 9th. This is going very well so far, isn't it?
Yeah, thank you very much. We really worked hard today to get 3 points, and we push ourselves to the limit, and we don't want to get carried away with that, with the position on the table, because the league is still far. So we want to keep working out, keep pushing, and we'll see how far we can go.
Are you yourself surprised at how well your partnership with Troy Deeney has developed?
Yeah, I'm not that surprised, because me and Troy played last season in the Championship. He scored 21, I scored 20. We play more close together, and we've been training every day together, working together every day. So when Troy moves in the field, I know where he's going. When I move, he knows where I'm going. So we've been working out together, and we're giving defender problem this season. So we want to keep doing well and keep winning points for the team.
I suppose as well what I meant by that is the goals came in the Championship, but to keep doing it as a duo in the Premier League, not many actually managed to do that.
Yeah, I would say it's hard work and dedication, because scoring 20 goals last season does not make me feel better player or relax. I want to keep working hard, keep improving every day. So I think continuing from the Premier League too gives me joy. So I want to keep working hard, keep giving my best. So I'm not going to get carried away with whatever is going on now. Just going to keep learning game by game and try winning and scoring goals.
I suppose the other thing, the 3 points is always important, but actually Watford's away form a lot of the time this season has been better than their home form, so a home 3 points is particularly welcome.
Yeah, because I would say a little bit pressure at home, because the fans always want us to win at home. So, but when we play away, we're more relaxed, we push ourselves, we know we're playing away, so anything can cause damage in the team. But at home, we always want to win. Sometimes we're in a haste, we're in a hurry to score goals, because we're playing at home, we want the fans to be happy and all that. So that's why. But today I think we're more calm, and we got the 3 points and scored 2 goals.
Well, congratulations, Odion. Enjoy your Saturday night. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
Odion Igalo on 5 Live Sport got the second of Watford's 2 goals this afternoon as they beat Norwich by 2-0. Let's go to the Emirates Stadium next. 3 points for Arsenal. It takes them second in the Premier League. Alistair Bruce-Ball.
Yes, an important win for them to move above both Manchester clubs in the table this evening. They definitely weren't at their best in the first half. They conceded the equaliser just before half-time with some really sloppy defending of a Sunderland free kick. But Arsene Wenger definitely got them going after the break. And once again, Mesut Ozil was masterful in pulling the strings. He laid the opening goal on a plate for Joel Campbell. It's now 4 goals and 9 assists for Ozil in his last 10 games. But then Giroud sliced into his own net when Arsenal let Mvia's free kick go a long way into their box unchallenged. Ramsey missed a great chance just before before the break. Cech made a brilliant save from Stephen Fletcher at close range, and then Giroud got on the score sheet at the right end, stooping to cleverly direct a header in from Ramsey's near post cross. Sunderland, though, came so close to an equaliser in the closing stages. Van Arnholt shooting just over the bar. Monreal nearly calamitously chesting the ball past his own keeper Petr Cech before Aaron Ramsey finally made it 3-1 from close range to seal the deal.
Thank you very much, Alistair. Let's talk to Danny Murphy, part of the Match of the Day team this evening. How are you, Danny?
Chappers, how are you, mate?
I'm very good, thank you. Mark Hughes said, and I kind of understand where he's coming from, that we shouldn't necessarily be surprised when Stoke play as well as they did, because they're great players and they train well, and yet they were outstanding today.
Well, I think it's different for him being on the inside. I mean, I was surprised, firstly, at the way he set them up, and then secondly, at the level of quality they showed. I mean, the front three were absolutely outstanding. To play Bojan as a kind of number 9 was a masterstroke in a way. He had the two lads wide with pace, and he just caused absolute mayhem for the City defence, who played terribly again.
You also watched, was it just the defence for City that played terribly, or did they have a bad day all round?
Bad day all round. Every single department they were lacking. Probably only De Bruyne for me was at it, really trying to make things happen. The rest of them were lacklustre to say the least. I mean, from a Stoke perspective, let's not take it away from them. Their performance was as good as I've seen from them in a long time. I mean, even at the back, they were solid, well organised. And it's no coincidence that since Shawcross has been back, they've been a lot more solid.
You watched the Manchester United-West Ham game as well. Some of the stats I've seen, Manchester United had 20 shots, but only 1 on target. Now, if they did have 20 shots, can Louis van Gaal get stick for the fact that they didn't score today?
Good question. Do you know what? At times they played some good stuff, especially in the second half, and it wasn't about the tempo of passing. That was there. It was the lack of quality really in the final third. Poor crosses, poor final pass. Martial was a threat. He looked much better down the middle, as everyone suggests he does. I agree with that. It's just that there's not enough of them who have that little bit of quality anymore. I mean, Mata flattered to deceive today. I thought Lingard tried hard, but again, does he have that real class, that real quality in the final third? And Fellaini, although it did cause problems with his physical presence, doesn't quite have it for me in terms of being in the first 11 of a team that's going to win the league. So, you know, United fans rightly got frustrated, and there was boos at the end because they're so used to seeing, especially in the final third, much better quality than they saw today.
A little bit of analysis on Riyad Mahrez this evening, I'm assuming, for his hat-trick for Leicester?
No, actually. No. Well, one hit him. The first one, he did play well, but the first one hit him, the second one was offside. So we've actually, the star of the show today wasn't him. So we'll keep you.
Oh,
we'll keep you waiting on that one.
You're such a tease. Thank you. Cheers,
See you, mate.
Danny
Bye.
Murphy. Riyad Mahrez has just spoken to Conor McNamara for tonight's Match of the Day, and the quote is, "It's the first hat trick of my little career," which is very humble of him. You Leicester fans, talk to Darren and Robbie. 0500 909 693. I mentioned the stats as regards Manchester United shots here at Old Trafford. The rest of the details will come from Ian Dennis very shortly, after we hear from the manager of the table toppers. Claudio Ranieri is with Ian Brown.
Yes, Claudio's with me. Congratulations, top of the table. And it's not the early part of the season now, Claudio. It's nearly Christmas.
No, it's not really Christmas, because now arrive the big rock. Arrive Chelsea, Everton, Liverpool, Manchester City, and that Christmas. I want to see now. But now we are thinking about this match. We played very, very well, very concentrated, because once he moved the ball very quickly, and for us was important to stay together and press at the right moment. We scored 3 goals, and we had also another 4 or 5 chances to score again, but it's okay. We take a clean sheet, and then the performance was good.
Jamie Vardy didn't score today, but it was all about Riyad Mahrez. Tell us about him and the impact he's made on you this season.
Yeah, I think everybody are looking at Jamie Vardy, but also Riyad Mahrez is a very goal scorer, a very good passing. But it's important the team. I ask every time to my players, play like a team, play and help each other, stay compact, because our leader is the is our spirit, our dressing room.
Is there part of you that thinks, even though you have got those tricky games coming up, including Chelsea, that you can stay at the top to the end of the season?
I think Chelsea at the end of the season, it will be in the 4 at the top of the league.
Not yourselves?
No, now we are thinking just to achieve a 40 points.
Okay, thanks, Claudio. Thank you.
Thank you to you.
Well, Claudio, congratulations.
Thank you very much, Claudio Ranieri with Ian Brown. I'll give you the table very shortly, but the details of this game here at Old Trafford from Ian Dennis.
And just to repeat those stats, Manchester United 62.7% in terms of possession, 21 attempts on goal, only 1 on target. And boos greeted the final whistle after this goalless draw as Manchester United drew a blank against a committed West Ham United side with Winston Reid terrific at the back. For periods, the home team lacked creativity and penetration. In the first half, Fellaini's header brushed the crossbar. Reid got an important block on Martial. West Ham, though, also caused problems. Moses, one-on-one with De Gea, thwarted. Reid crashed a header at the base of the left-hand post, and then Zarate screwed a shot wide after excellent build-up play 11 minutes into the second half.
I'm just going to interrupt you, if you don't mind, because Remy Gard is waiting to talk to us at St Mary's, and we appreciate his time. Good evening, Remy.
Good evening.
How was the performance this afternoon at Southampton?
We played a tough game, you know. We suffer a lot. We had many chances against us to cope with, especially at the beginning of the game, as you saw probably. But then the spirit my players have shown today pleased me, because when you are in the situation where we are, we need that. This is the first step to get points.
Is that what you're looking for, particularly at this stage? Yes, I know you'll be looking for performances and points, but actually, given the state you're in, you want to see spirit and mental toughness from your players.
Exactly. I think that the last 2 games we were below the standard that is required to get points in Premier League, and you know, the players need to be focused and to do the same game that they did today, because if you don't show that, you have no chance to get points.
Do you feel you're starting to get your ideas and your philosophies across to the players?
You know, I mean, when you are bottom of the league like we are, and struggling like we are, philosophy of playing is not the first target you want to reach. I only want to see the same desire to fight, to win all the ball like they did today. And this is the first step you have to show in football. And then sometimes you have to play a good football, but when you are in lack of confidence, like probably all of my players are, it's quite difficult. Then the first step is to fight, and then you get slowly more confidence.
Appreciate you putting on the headphones to talk to us, Remy. Thank you.
Thank you.
Remy Gard, the Aston Villa manager, live on 5 Live Sport. Let me do the Premier League table for you, as I haven't done that yet. Leicester are top with 32 points. Arsenal have 30. Manchester City and Manchester United have 29. Spurs have 26 and West Ham have 23. Liverpool also have 23. They play at Newcastle tomorrow. You'll hear that on 5 Live. Palace and Watford and Stoke all have 22. Palace play Everton on Monday night, again on 5 Live. Everton have 21, Southampton 21, West Brom have 19, Chelsea have 15. They're playing Bournemouth in the tea time game. Swansea have 14, Norwich 13, Sunderland 12, and the bottom 3 this evening, Bournemouth and Newcastle both with 10, although they've played a game less than most of the sides around them. And Aston Villa 6 points from safety, having picked up that point at St Mary's. They have 6 points. Ian Dennis to finish.
I was just going to say, I've lost where I was. Zarate had screwed that shot wide, but that came 60 minutes after the other end, where there was a low ball drilled in from the left, and Adrian made a point-blank save to keep out Fellaini. Manchester United, they had late pressure. It made no difference. West Ham held firm, and I would say it was a deserved point for Slaven Bilic's side.
Let's go to the Hawthorns next. A point per side there. Pat Murphy.
But can they do it on a wild, windy, black country afternoon against a Tony Pulis side, all short sleeves, rugged attitude and unblinking determination? Well, up to a point, Tottenham. They did go ahead early on through Dele Alli when Gareth McCauley and Craig Dawson switched off. We waited for them to display their classy plumage, but Salomon Rondon continued to chase lost causes. His physicality unsettled the Tottenham defence. Just before half-time, a superb team goal and thumping header from James McLean brought West Brom's equaliser. After that, either side could have won. Hugo Lloris point-blank save from Jonas Olsen was a jaw-dropper, and the wicker commitment was then turned up. Tottenham grew more frustrated. They couldn't break down West Brom's discipline. Not one free kick for the division specialist Christian Eriksen in his speciality area. West Brom may not be easy on the eye, but they have big hearts, as Arsenal and now Tottenham have experienced here in the last fortnight.
And Pat will be getting you some reaction from the Hawthorns very shortly. In the Championship this afternoon, Brighton were 2-0 down at home to Charlton. They turned it round and beat them by 3-2. So that takes them back to the top of the table. Middlesbrough went top last night after they won at Ipswich. Elsewhere, Huddersfield won at Birmingham. Cardiff won 3-2 at Bolton. Brentford beat MK Dons by 2-0. Blackburn and Preston both won away from home. Leeds beat Hull by 2-1. Forest won at home to Fulham, and Wolves won at Rotherham. I'll give you the Championship table very shortly, but Hugo Lloris is waiting to talk live with Pat Murphy.
Thanks for joining us, Hugo. How good a save was that in your career from Olsen?
I don't think about my career at this moment. I just think about the game, about our team performance, individual performance. Was very difficult to play a good game because of the condition. It was really windy on the pitch, and that's why the game was so poor.
Was it just an instinctive save then from Olsen?
After, it's just about decision, or you go, you try to attack the ball, but it was difficult because too many players were in front of me, and so I decided to keep my position, and after try to have a good reaction. So hopefully for me and for the team, I touched the ball and put it over the bar. But as usual, the game, we can talk a lot about the game, not only about this save.
You knew that West Brom would be difficult, particularly in these conditions, and that's how it panned out.
Yeah, but I think today our opponent was more the wind than the West Brom. Obviously, it was difficult to play even on the floor, to keep the ball on the floor. I think the condition helped a lot West Brom. They used to put some long ball. It's Tony Pulis style, and they were very strong defensively. So, but at the end they deserved this point. They fight until the end, and it was a tight game, but really not to play, to enjoy, and to watch.
Thank you very much for your time.
Okay.
And from the tunnel at the Hawthorns to the tunnel at Old Trafford, where Slaven Bilic is live with Alistair Yeomans.
Slaven, congratulations, but I just wonder whether you might have thought you might have got even more out of that game, because you played well, didn't you?
Yeah, we played well. Yes. Mixed emotions. I mean, not mixed, but if you ask me, are we happy? Yes, I'm happy with the performance. I'm happy with the team spirit. I'm happy with the clean sheet and everything. And especially knowing that we came here without 4 key players when we have a ball, and we replace them, and it's not possible to replace the quality of them, but we replace them with the teamwork and with the amount of running and with the amount of concentration. On the other hand, we should have been, especially after the first half, we should have been at least 1 up. We hit the post twice. We had a great chance through Victor Moses, and I think we deserved to be 1 up. We weren't, and then also in the second half we expecting from them to put more pressure on us, but also we expecting from them, as long as we are keeping it 0-0 or go up front 1, they're gonna a little bit lose their shape, they're gonna start to be nervous, so which will give us the space. And from that we created a great chance from Mauro Zarate, but basically to have more than 1 point, always you have to score a goal, especially here, and especially when you play against the team that conceded only 1 goal home this season in the Premier League. You have to score goals, and we've done enough to score goals. even without those players. But we didn't, and at the end they put us under pressure. They put some individual quality in the team. They took the risk, and they created few chances, of course. But we were really, as a team, really great defending.
And just one more point, a lot of the West Ham fans listening to this on their way home, on the long journey home, they've been here before, we've been here before when West Ham haven't created a chance here. But is that shown in the other performances you've had this season, how much this team is growing?
Yes, we are growing, and that shows a lot. I mean, you know that last time we got something out of Man United away game was when that historical game when Carlos Tevez, but that game I think wasn't that important for Manchester United. That meant nothing to them, I think. So it was great for West Ham. So to come here, especially to have a clean sheet here and to create, not to only battle, to put them under pressure, to press them and to create 4 chances without key players, to be fair. It means a lot to us, and it gives us a lot to continue our belief in the team.
Thank you for talking to us on the BBC. Thank you.
Slaven Village with Alistair Yeomans. In the FA Cup this afternoon, Newport won at Barnet, Chesterfield and Walsall will have to replay, as will Leyton Orient and Scunthorpe. Wycombe got a late winner at Millwall. Northwich Victoria, the lowest ranked side left in, were 2-0 up at Northampton. Northampton scored 3 in the last few minutes and go through 3-2. Portsmouth knocked out Accrington Stanley. Ditto Sheffield United against Oldham. Eastleigh won 2-0 at Stourbridge, and Yeovil Town beat Stevenage by a 1-0. Earlier on we spoke to Remy Gard after Aston Villa's 1-1 draw at Southampton. John Southall can give us the details of the game.
Yes, all fairly quiet now down here in the tunnel at St Mary's, and we can reflect on a precious and rare point for Villa. It obviously still leaves them in the mire, but it may just give them some much needed belief, especially in the second half. It was a much improved performance. In the first half they had 1 chance to Southampton's 7. The difference, Villa took theirs. Julian Lescott with his first goal for the club. They grew in confidence as the game went on, but they eventually undone when Oriol Romeo tapped in at the far post, his first goal for the club as well. 17 minutes from time. Slightly worrying times for Southampton. 1 point from the last 9 on offer, plus that 6-1 defeat to Liverpool in the week, and they just lacked a bit of creativity in the second half when they really needed to go on and get that winning goal. But it will be a brighter night for Villa and for their manager Remy Gard.
Let me just give you the Championship table, as I said I would a few moments ago. Brighton back on top after coming from 2 down to beat Charlton. They have 41 points. Middlesbrough have 39. Derby, who've played a game less, have 36. Hull beaten at Leeds have 34. Burnley beaten at home by Preston. Hull have 35. Burnley have 34. Cardiff, after that 3-2 win at Bolton, have 29. They're in the playoff spots. Then come a whole host of clubs on 28. Birmingham City, Sheffield Wednesday, Ipswich and Brentford. At the bottom, Bolton rock bottom with 12. Rotherham, who were beaten at home by Wolves, have 15. Charlton have 16. They're the bottom 3. Bristol City and the MK Dons also have 16. The weather decimated the football programme in Scotland. Roddy Forsyth can inform us of the games that did take place.
Yes, it was the day when Desmond stormed his way through Scotland, knocking fixtures down like Skittles. First off was Hearts Inverness at 7:30 in the morning, a good hour before sunrise, whatever that is, and we lost a total of 10 League and Scottish Cup matches. But Dundee and Aberdeen went ahead, and the Dons beat the D's with 2 goals from McGinn and Rooney to bring Aberdeen within 4 points of Celtic in second place. But look out for St Johnstone, who were at Ross County for Britain's most northerly senior fixture, which amazingly wasn't in danger. Saints went 2 up with a Wotherspoon double and then were pegged back by Boyce and Davis before Dave Mackay's late free kick secured the Perth side's 7th consecutive away win in all competitions. Kilmarnock's meeting with Dundee United went ahead too, although many fans took to huddling at the back of the stands for shelter. Boyd had the home crew cheering when he put Kelly in front from a Josh McGuinness cross, but Mackay levelled from the spot after Finlay fouled McGowan in the box and was sent off. So United are still 6 points adrift of Motherwell at the foot of the table. And of this afternoon's scorers, Niall McGinn, Liam Boyce and Billy Mackay are all Northern Ireland Euro 2016 squad members. But the heroes of the day, every man, woman, boy and girl who went to watch a game on an afternoon of scouring wind and rain.
Let's hear from Louis van Gaal after Manchester United's goalless draw against West Ham. He has been talking to Alistair Yeomans, but we will hear from him in just a moment or two. We are going to go to Leicester to talk to Christian Fuchs first of all, after their 3-0 win over Swansea that takes them top of the table. Good evening, Christian.
Good evening. Hi.
Hi. Thank you very much for talking to us. Congratulations, back on top of the table. Describe the Leicester performance to those who haven't heard about it or watched it this afternoon?
I think it was a tough game today. We played well. We were really organised. We didn't give away too many chances. And, well, I think first half we could have scored already 4 or 5 goals, where we unfortunately missed a few chances. But I think overall we were really solid and deserved the victory.
Really solid. And then from a defensive point of view, tell me about the boost and the positive thoughts it must give you when you look up and you know that you have Jamie Vardy, when you know that you have Riyad Mahrez.
Well, you know, to have them in the front is definitely a weapon of ours. Also, Mark Albright made a very good game, and yeah, it's good to have them to be very, very good in counter-attacks, which is our game. And well, Riyad today, he scored his 3 goals. He scored a hat-trick, and which was very well deserved. Yeah, unfortunately, Vards was not able to score his goal, but he worked a lot. He helped the team a lot, and yeah, we are simply happy to win the game. And
in the camp amongst the players, are you simply talking about the old cliche of one game at a time?
Yes, definitely. Yeah, it sounds like a cliche, but this is what helps us the most. We are not looking at the table. We have our goal set, which is to stay in the league, which is to get the 40 points. And you know, when we achieve that goal, which I'm very sure we will, then we can look further.
And Kasper Schmeichel was talking to me a couple of weeks ago about the team spirit at the club that you had under Nigel Pearson, and that the club had under Nigel Pearson, and that has just been continued by Claudio Ranieri. How do you find Claudio Ranieri to play for?
Yeah, Kasper is absolutely right. I mean, he gives us a lot of free spaces. You know, he knows how to handle the players. Obviously, he's Italian, so he's very keen in showing us how to defend. And but he also knows that our strength is definitely also in the offensive, and there we have a lot of free space. Like I said before, he knows that we're really good on counter-attacks, and he's not taking away this strength of ours.
And one final question, well, it's more a congratulations really. That ball that you played to Jamie Vardy last week is possibly the pass of the season. But because it was Jamie Vardy's record, I'm not sure you've had the right amount of credit for it.
Oh, well, my credit is that he scored his goal, and this was also our goal, you know, in that game, to support him to achieve this record. And I'm happy that yeah, I gave the pass to him, but you know, I know for myself that it was a good pass, and that's what I'm happy with.
That's great, Christian. Thanks for talking to us. Appreciate you putting the headphones on.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
The Football League on Sports Report. This is 5 Live Sport.
In the Sky Bet Championship, Brighton maintained their unbeaten start to the season, but Andy Stevenson, they left it very late.
Yes, 3-2 it finished, a quite sensational turnaround and a breathtaking match. Brighton found themselves 2-0 down in the first 5 minutes thanks to 2 super breakaway goals from Charlton. But shortly after the break, James Wilson, making his first start on loan from Manchester United, danced past 3 defenders and slotted home. On 54 minutes, Charlton centre-back Patrick Bauer was sent off, but it wasn't until right at the end that Brighton made their extra man count. Bobby Zamora lashed home the equaliser after a scramble in the area, and a minute later, substitute Toma Hamed powerfully headed home the winner. Brighton go top, their unbeaten record goes on, and Charlton will be heartbroken. Brighton 3, Charlton 2.
Burnley were beaten 2-0 at home by Preston. Birmingham lost to Huddersfield. Hull also beaten this afternoon, going down 2-1 at Leeds amid pie protests by the locals. I'm saying nothing because it will annoy Robbie and Darren. Juliet Farrington.
Yeah, there was a lot going on here, to be honest. Leeds won 2-1. Surprise scoreline there. Back-to-back league defeats for Hull. 3 in a row if you include that League Cup defeat in midweek. The pie protests, though, that took over pre-match. All the talk was about that. On 17 minutes, fans were going to walk out due to these increase in ticket prices and catering for 17 minutes. But it really didn't have any impact whatsoever. Hardly anybody walked out. There were more pies, in fact, thrown onto the pitch during that time than fans who headed for the concourse. And then a couple couple of Leeds fans decided to take on the stewards and police. The punches went flying in, looked like kids, so they got taken out. It's all on CCTV as well. But during that time, they missed Leeds going 2-up and effectively winning this one. Hull didn't do enough in the second to get the equaliser. El Mohammadi got them right back in it. But Steve Evans has said tonight it was the support that helped Leeds get over the line. Hull had a really good chance towards the end to level, but from 6 yards out, missed the target. Steve Bruce has said tonight Hull didn't turn up. Can't imagine what his mood will be like, but nowhere near the level required. Hull really do only have themselves to blame.
Thank you, Jules. Cardiff up to 6th after their 3-2 victory at struggling Bolton, who remained bottom. Dean Smith's first game in charge of Brentford ended in a 2-0 win against MK Dons. On to the Emirates FA Cup in the second round. Northwich Victoria were heading for the third round with 7 minutes to go, but they had their hearts broken at Northampton. Here's Delith Lloyd.
They did indeed, Mark, yes. Northwich were leading 2-0, but 3 goals in 4 late minutes meant it was the League Two side that was celebrating at the final whistle. There may be 92 places between these two clubs. Margins, though, in reality were small. Northwich went ahead through Ball and Bennett before that frantic finish. Manager Jim Gannon told me maybe fatigue was to blame, but he was pleased with how his side conducted themselves. As for Northampton boss Chris Wilder, he couldn't quite believe his side are into the hat for the third round draw.
Yeah, I don't know how we've done it. I've got enormous respect for the opposition today. Sometimes you don't get out of the game what you deserve, and maybe that was the case today. But we played gung-ho football. We changed the shape. We had 2 or 3 defenders on the pitch. We had an attacking formation because we needed to do something. In and around the 80 minutes, I think that's when we got our first. And then obviously we've got the momentum. They're on the back foot, and we've managed to slam home another couple, and really should have had a fourth, really.
Who do you want, though, in Monday night's draw, Chris?
Well, I think we've got to settle down and have a beer first before we'll have a look at on that on Monday. I'm just so happy and grateful. At R4 and 20-5, we were done and dusted, and we were gone, and Northwich were in.
Chris Wilder talking to Delith Lloyd. Elsewhere, Eastleigh of the National League are definitely into the third round after a 2-0 win at Stourbridge. Wycombe won 2-1 at Millwall, thanks to a 94th minute goal from Michael Harriman. Managerless Yeovil beat Stevenage by a 1-0. Right, a little bit earlier on, I promised you a Louis van Gaal interview. We can now get to it. Here he is with Alistair Yeomans.
Louis, you had a lot of shots at goal, but not enough on target, obviously.
Yes, that was also the only aspect that was not good today. I think we dominated the game, especially the first quarter and the second half. We have created a lot of chances and also big open chances, but we didn't score, and that is the most important aspect of football. And that's why everybody is so disappointed.
Yes, what did you make of the booing at the end? Can you understand that?
Now, when you see the game and you see how we have played, we forgot to score. That was the only minus. And I have to say that I cannot say that the boys doesn't have played well. But when you are playing very well, then you score out of these kinds of chances, and that is what happened today.
Every week is a big week in the life of Manchester United, but especially this week, it's a big occasion, the Champions League this week, isn't it?
You're right, because now we have the Champions League match against Wolfsburg. We have to win. Because otherwise, when PSV is winning against Moscow, that is also a question mark, then we are out, and then we have to score. We must score, otherwise you cannot win. And I hope that we have more luck Tuesday than today.
Good luck to Manchester United. Thank you.
I will have commentary of that game on Tuesday evening. Wednesday night we'll bring you Olympiacos against Arsenal when our attention switches to the Champions League. Arsenal go into that game on the back of a victory this afternoon at home to Sunderland. Alistair Bruce Ball.
Yes, they beat Sunderland by 3-1. Some late scares before Aaron Ramsey finally stuck the third goal in from close range. I'm currently hanging out with the stragglers. The clearing up operation is on in the bowels of the Emirates Stadium. We've just been speaking to Arsene Wenger a few moments ago. It was a game today. He said they had to win. I think he was referring particularly to Manchester City's defeat in the lunchtime kickoff. So they've moved above both Manchester clubs. Arsenal's first win in 4 games in the league. They struggled to get going in the first half, but they got the job done in the end. I think Arsene Wenger also very relieved no more injuries today. He thinks everyone that was involved today is going to be okay for the big game away to Olympiacos on Wednesday, and the added bonus of Theo Walcott getting back in the action on as a second half substitute. So after the game, I asked Arsene Wenger if he was pleased with his team's performance.
I am pleased with the team's dedication and attitude. I think on the football front we were a bit edgy in the first half, and in the second half it was much more fluent, penetrative, incisive. And in the end, we got a win against a team who was very well organised, played very well, and was always very dangerous on the break. And playing like that will take many points, I believe.
Petr Cech made a crucial save at 1-1, and there was a couple of late scares when you were leading 2-1. I mean, did you give them too many chances in the game?
Overall, yes. That's a regret I have. They're quick, intelligent, good technically, and. It took us a while to get going as well, but overall we scored 4 goals today, so we have scored our share, a number of goals.
Yeah, Olivier Giroud scored twice. How much are you enjoying watching Mesut Ozil play for Arsenal at the moment, Arsene? And how much is he helping the other players?
Look, I believe he was tremendous again today, and it's just a pleasure to watch. And we struggled sometimes a little bit to find our fluency, and when the ball comes to him, that things will be more serene, technically right, and gives you hope always that something will happen. He's an exceptional player. He gave the ball again for the first goal. Just, I believe that I faced some press conferences with people being skeptical about him. But he has grown, and there's a real stature now, and it's very impressive what he's doing.
So Arsene Wenger and Arsenal now second in the table, behind Leicester after Leicester's 3-0 win at the Liberty Stadium. And that 3-0 win, Ian Brown, means another miserable afternoon for Swansea and Gary Monk.
Yes, unbelievably contrasting moods in the corridors here backstage at the Liberty Stadium. Leicester City saying the 40-point mark is still their primary target, but they're smiling when they say it. It's been an extraordinary season for them. You'd have heard Claudio Ranieri saying earlier that tough December fixtures still need to be negotiated. He might be worried about suitors for his players in January as well. But they're not just about Jamie Vardy, are they? A clean sheet here, a Mahrez hat-trick, great contributions all round. But what of Swansea and Gary Monk? 1 win in 11 now in the league. He was bullish after that rather unlucky defeat at Liverpool last week. But how is he feeling after this?
Not so bullish.
What would be your explanation of why there was a fall-off in performance?
It's very difficult. Like I just said, it's very hard to put my finger on it. It's not a stone unturned the way I work. Very open with the players, worked extremely hard on what we need to do to get back to our best. We put a lot of work in place, got back to it to a certain extent last week against Liverpool, and then worked again very hard this week, put a lot of things in place, and for some reason we didn't deliver it, and that's very frustrating. It's frustrating for me, for the players, and obviously for the fans themselves. The club deserves a lot better than what it's getting right now.
You've said over and over again that you're a fighter, and we know that. Do you think you'll be given the opportunity to fight on? Do you understand anything differently to that?
Well, that's out of my hands. Like I said, I can't control those type of decisions. All I can do is focus on working as hard as I can with the players and with everyone, with my staff, and that's what I'll continue doing until I'm told I'm not to.
It certainly is downcast amongst all Swansea City followers just at the moment. And Gary Monk, after speaking to me, was grilled by the written media. He said he is not a quitter. He's not really feeling that he's gone as far as he can with his team. He knows how Swansea tick, but he's not getting them to tick at the moment, and time could be running out.
Today in the Premier League, Stoke beat Manchester City 2-0. Arsenal 3, Sunderland 1. Goalless between Manchester United and West Ham. Southampton 1, Aston Villa 1. Watford 2, Norwich 0. West Brom 1, Spurs 1. And Leicester have gone top of the Premier League after a 3-0 win at Swansea. Riyad Mahrez got all 3 of the goals, and after his hat-trick he spoke to Conor McNamara.
Top of the league on your own, and you've got the hat-trick today. How does it feel?
That's the perfect day. We won, we top of the league, and I score a hat-trick for help the team to win. So I feel very good. I'm very happy because the first hat-trick in my little career, my small career. So yeah, I'm very happy.
Everyone was looking at Jamie Vardy and see could he continue the goal-scoring run. I thought it was very significant that he set up the third goal for you. I mean, he was being very unselfish.
No, yeah, he's always he play always for the team. You know, today he didn't score, but he always break the record. So I think maybe today he give an assist. He give to me an assist. So yeah, sometimes he score 14 goals. Sometimes he's not gonna score all the game. That's why sometimes it's difficult to score. Today I scored. Maybe next game it's him. Maybe next game it's another player. You know, we are a team. We're working together, and I'm very happy to be in this team.
Ian Dennis, our senior football reporter, alongside me here at Old Trafford. And yet they're still talking, Leicester, despite being top of the table, about getting to 40 points. But compared to both Manchester clubs and Arsenal and Chelsea, they're the most consistent side in the Premier League.
Yes, they are. And they're a threat going forward, scoring goals. And they've obviously got a tough run of games coming up, but consistently they are producing. And, Manchester United and Manchester City, certainly if Manchester United today, I think, are seeing this as a missed opportunity. They're ruining the... well, certainly according to Louis van Gaal, he says he's disappointed. The fans are disappointed. He says he doesn't understand, though, the attack chance, bearing in mind he says we were the attacking team. But it was interesting towards the end of his press conference, Mark, where he seemed to contradict himself because he was asked if a proven goal scorer would change things. And he replied, my team get a lot of chances rather than a fixed player. To which the follow-up question, do you think a Suarez or an Aguero would score goals in this team? And that's when he said, maybe. But it's clear they're not scoring the goals, and obviously they now go ahead to Wolfsburg in midweek, where they have to score, and he says they must score for that all-important game in the Champions League. But for West Ham United, Slaven Bilic says they defended as a unit, they deserved at least a point, and he had nothing but praise for his players.
And a reminder that on Sunday's 5 Live Sport you can hear commentary of Welling against Carlisle in the FA Cup and Newcastle versus Liverpool in the Premier League. Before the pod finishes, here's Charlotte Green with Saturday's classified football results.
Barclays Premier League. Arsenal 3, Sunderland 1. Chelsea against Bournemouth, late kick-off. Manchester United 0, West Ham United 0. Southampton 1, Aston Villa 1. Stoke City 2, Manchester City 0. Swansea City 0, Leicester City 3. Watford 2, Norwich City 0. West Bromwich Albion 1, Tottenham Hotspur 1. Sky Bet Championship. Birmingham City 0, Huddersfield Town 2. Bolton Wanderers 2, Cardiff City 3. Brentford 2, Milton Keynes Dons 0. Brighton and Hove Albion 3, Charlton Athletic 2. Bristol City 0, Blackburn Rovers 2. Burnley 0, Preston North End 2. Leeds United 2, Hull City 1. Nottingham Forest 3, Fulham 0. Rotherham United 1, Wolverhampton Wanderers 2. The Emirates FA Cup second round. Barnet 0, Newport County 1. Chesterfield 1, Walsall 1. Leyton Orient 0, Scunthorpe United 0. Millwall 1, Wycombe Wanderers 2. Northampton Town 3, Northwich Victoria 2. Portsmouth 1, Accrington Stanley 0. Sheffield United 1, Oldham Athletic 0. Stourbridge 0, Eastleigh 2. Yeovil Town 1, Stevenage 0. Johnston's Paint Trophy Northern Section semi-final, Wigan Athletic 2, Barnsley 2, and that match is going to penalties. Vanarama National League. Barrow against Boreham Wood, postponed. Cheltenham Town 3, Chester 1. Dover Athletic 5, Aldershot Town 2. FC Halifax Town 1, Guiseley 1. Kidderminster Harriers 0, Gateshead 1. Southport 3, Macclesfield Town 1. Torquay United 0, Wrexham 1. Tranmere Rovers 1, Braintree Town 2. Woking 3, Lincoln City 1. Ladbroke Scottish Premiership. Celtic against Hamilton Academical, postponed. Dundee 0, Aberdeen 2. Heart of Midlothian against Inverness Caledonian Thistle, postponed. Kilmarnock 1, Dundee United 1. Partick Thistle against Motherwell, postponed. Ross County 2, St Johnstone 3. Scottish Championship. Alloa Athletic 0, Dumbarton 2. Falkirk against Livingston, Greenock Morton against Hibernian, Wraith Rovers against Rangers, and St Mirren against Queen of the South, all postponed. Scottish League 1. Albion Rovers against Stranraer, postponed. Dunfermline Athletic 3, Brecon City 1. Scottish League 2. East Stirlingshire against Clyde, postponed. Stirling Albion 3, Elgin City 1. William Hill Scottish Cup 3rd round. Wick Academy against Linlithgow Rose, postponed. 3rd round replays. Annan Athletic against Inverurie Loco Works, postponed. Arbroath against Cowdenbeath, abandoned in the first half with the score 0-0. Cove Rangers 4, Formartine United 1. East Kilbride 1, Stenhousemuir 1. Forfar Athletic